Hi, my name is Abigail, and in my group is Amber, Rayhan, and Mandeep. We'll be presenting on Chapter 1.2 of the BC Science 10. You'll be learning about what's in an ecosystem. An ecosystem is part of a biome where abiotic and biotic components interact. You'll be learning about niches, interactions between predator and prey, biodiversity in ecosystem, and symbiotic relationships. Basically, you'll be learning about everything that goes on in an
Talk to
ecosystem.
you about the ecosystem. There are two parts of an ecosystem. Abiotic parts such as water, nutrients, soil, and biotic parts such as plants, animals, and bacteria. Ecosystems can be all kinds of sizes, as big as a valley, as small as a tide pool. Within ecosystems, there is a habitat. A habitat is where an organism lives. 50 to 90% water is what makes up most living things. Water is also important because it carries nutrients from one place to another. Plants and animals can't live without water. What plants also need is light because photosynthesis is a chemical reaction which basically is energy from plants, and photosynthesis needs light. Also, soil is also really important because it gives a home to many species like the worm. Also, the worm helps as well. It digs tunnels so water and oxygen can travel easier.
Interact to obtain research. Organisms have special roles or niches in their ecosystem. An organism niche includes the way it contributes to and fits into its environment. Many different organisms can live for the same habitat if they occupy different niches. Competition occurs when organisms require the same research in the same location at the same time. Predation occurs when one organism eats all or part of another organism. The organism that eats the other organism is a predator, and the organism eaten is the prey.
Go.
Predators have certain adaptation to catch their prey. For example, they have fangs to eat their prey and a keen sense of smell to smell them. And a prey has a way of protecting themselves, like camouflaging and etc.
So the next relationship is called commensalism, and what commensalism is when one organism gets something out of it and the other one doesn't get harmed and it doesn't get anything out of it. So the other one is just neutral. An example of this is a barnacle whale. The barnacle jumps onto the whale, it gets food and it gets transportation. But the whale doesn't really get anything out of it, so that's what commensalism is. Next symbiotic relationship is mutualism. You can remember mutualism by friends with benefits. So every time you think of friends with benefits or mutualism, they connect to each other. So what mutualism is when both organisms stick together. In some cases they can't live without each other, and in some cases they defend each other. The two species are so close together that they just can't live without each other, and they both get benefits out of it. For example, tree fungus, like trees are good for fungus. Okay, so the next symbiotic relationship is called parasitism, and parasitism is actually really serious. Every time I think of parasitism, think of bullying. So basically what parasitism is, when one organism gets everything and the other one doesn't really get anything, it gets harmed. And so that's what bullying is actually too. So every time you think of parasitism, think of bullying. The other one gets harmed and one of them gets something out of it. That's all.